Hey guys, I'm Ed Clarke, and today I'm having a look at 3 John Mayer techniques that I've sort of amalgamated into one lick. Before I get into it though, please make sure you like and subscribe. When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll be giving away this signed fuzz pedal that was used on the last Brave Rival album. Okay, so there are a few licks in that intro solo, but the one I want to focus on is this one. Like I said earlier, I think there's 3 sections you can break this lick into, this one being the first. Now obviously that's just a bend with a note after it, but it's the specific note choice that John uses that makes that one interesting, but we'll come back to it. The second one is the double stop, double slide, which definitely sounds like a dance move. And then finally, I don't know what to call this one, but picking and sliding down at the same time. And then just a little flourish at the end. So, we have the bend, the double stop, double slide, and then the slide down being picked. Okay, so what is so interesting about that bend? It is just a tone bend after all. Well, what's interesting is that it's an unusual note choice. So when you're in the pentatonic, in this case D minor, there's certain notes you're likely to bend and certain ones you're less likely to bend. So classic one would be the G string on the 12th fret. Classic. B string on the 13th fret. And E string on the 13th fret. Those are probably the most commonly bended notes in the pentatonic. But what John does is instead of bending the 13th fret on the B up to the root of the key, essentially bending a C into a D, he actually starts on the root, the D, and bends it up to an E. Now, the reason that's a bit weird is because you're bending from the root up. So you're actually going away from the root up to the second of the key. Now, depending on how you do this, you can get some very interesting sounds with the chords underneath, but you do, of course, need to be careful. If you do this over the one chord, the D minor, you'll get a kind of ninth sound. Sounds slightly ambiguous. The way I used it in that intro was to do it over the 7 chord, the C major, which makes a nice major third. Now, I'd suggest that you mess around with this and try it out, because certain places you'll find it works really, really well, and some places you'll find it really doesn't. Often, you need to resolve it back down to the root in order to get that nice release, particularly if you're playing it over the 1 chord. Okay, so the second part, and this is the first part where technique kind of comes into it. The double stop, double slide, and I'm going to laugh every single time I say that. Essentially what John does here, this is directly taken out of Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, as is the next one. You're starting on the 12th and 13th fret, 12th fret G string, 13th fret B string. Make a nice double stop, and all you're doing is sliding both notes up 2 frets. When you do that, you slide up, down, up again, and back down. Now, the second slide up, you don't actually need to have gone all the way back down to your starting point to go back up. You can kind of get away with it being a half slide, if you will. So even if I go, because it's so fast, you kind of get away with it. In fact, it actually changes the vibe of the lick if you slide all the way down to where you started versus only 1 fret. So if I slide all the way down to where I started and do it slowly, you get that. If I only slide down that 1 fret, you get a slightly jazzier sound because neither of those notes are actually in the key. But it's so fast, it kind of sounds cool anyway. Up to you which version of that you want to do, but the key is that rhythm. There's only 1 pick right at the start, and the rest is all done with your left hand. So the other part that is stolen directly from Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, albeit in a different key, is the pick and slide down, which is how John gets out of that double stop lick. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm sliding on the G string from the 14th fret to the 12th, but picking and immediately sliding. So not just... Sounds a really like snatched note, which is a really cool sound. And then I'm pulling off to the 10th fret and picking it once. If you want to add my little ending just to get into the next chord, what I did there was do the 12th fret on the D string and the 9th fret on the G string. Just because it resolved really nicely into what I think was the A minor. So the whole lick all together slowed down. And then up to speed. I really love this lick because I think it fits really well into just a generic pentatonic scale, just adding some extra flavors in there so you can use it kind of anywhere you'd like to across all keys. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell icon ticked to be notified of new videos. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.